Hey lifers, and welcome to another episode of Because Life Can Be a Niche podcast. I am so glad to have you here with us, riding here. It's not in the living room. I'm going to post some behind the scenes so that you can see why we're not in the living room. For those of you who are watching on the YouTube, welcome to all of you who are new, who are joining. Thank you. We have a spot of tea and conversation, and we get into it. We talk about everything that has to do with life. My teacup is empty. I'll tell you why in a minute. But if I had to choose a tea of the episode, I think I would probably choose my lavender chamomile. That's a great tea. I need some, but I can't even if I had it right now, I don't know that I would enjoy it, because it's just been one of those days where it's been one of those weeks, one of those months, one of those seasons, and I'm just tired. So anyway, if you're following on social media, let's get that out of the way. At KatieBryantWrites.com is Life Unfolding, is my blog. If you're on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, it's at Katie Bryant Writes. Love to have you engage, follow along, come do life. Just come on in. And I always usually say, hey, y'all, come on in the living room. Let's have a family meeting and let's just talk. So I'm going to jump in and do that and just start talking. Today was the first day of digital learning, and the kids have gone back. The kids have returned to learning, structured learning from home, and it's been, oh Lord, it has been an experience. We're definitely not experiencing the nervousness I think that parents who had to return kids to school in person may have had. It's definitely been more of a get organized. Do I have all of the wires and everything set up so that they can easily learn and that they have access to everything. So anyway, it was a good day. We have the schedule, I have my menu, all of that is up and working. And it hit me about, I don't know, maybe 1 o'clock today, realizing now that because I work from home, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the job opportunity and that I'm still employed. And I like my workspace at home. And now I have new coworkers. And I was sitting here today, thinking like normally the first day of school, you're just kind of excited and you're happy because they start a new chapter. They probably will make new friends. You get to drop them off and then, go on about your day and come back home. For me, I come back home, have, tea or coffee or go to the gym or whatever. But all that has changed. Everything is different this year. Everything looks different. And it all looks different because we're still in the midst of this pandemic. It just hit me how much things have changed in the pandemic and how I'm dealing with that. So I don't know about other parents, but the first day of school, even though I was working and I didn't get to do anything special. I didn't play hooky and not work or whatever. When I dropped the kids off, it was just like, whew. I can just drop them off and let them be handled all day by someone else. but we haven't had that in quite a while. And that's what this show is about today. Is I'm just doing a series because I want to talk to you guys about all of the things that have come to bear, either personally, professionally, spiritually for you as a result of, pandemic revelations. And we're going to talk about a lot, because a lot has happened in the background. There's no question, this racism, the social injustice, that's a fight that has to be, we have to keep continuing to keep moving forward. Just keep taking this one step, next step, next step. We've got to keep that going. And then we have, political mess. It's a mess. And so many things happening, just around us. But it's impacting us and how we do things. It has impacted us not going back to school. It impacted us taking vacation. So I was sitting here, evaluating like things that, pandemic revelations, things that I have altered or changed that have also changed me or impacted me some way, positively or negatively. And one was, I think self-care and peace. I think it's the peace of things. I am an only kid, and so going off in a corner by myself has always been that's how I find my peace. I don't mind being by myself in a corner. I think I mentioned on the last episode, like I have nooks. Like this is a little nook. This is just a little place I can curl up, read a book, have tea, and just kind of to myself, get quiet to myself. And since March, when the kids came home and we ended the school year at home doing digital learning and canceled spring break vacations and summer vacations and everything, mostly because the places where we were going were closed, and then also because I just didn't think it was wise for us to go do what I planned for us to do, because it was going to be high touch, involving probably a lot of tourists or a lot of people around, breathing. So I just chose to stay home the whole summer, and my mom is with us. My mom is in her 70s, and my son has asthma. So it's just a choice that I made for us. That was the best choice between me, God, and the light post. That's what we decided we were going to do. But in that, there was in having the ability and the setup to shelter in place and to stay at home and to keep the kids at home even for this school year. There is limited time for self-care. And I'm a single mom. I'm divorced, and I'm not out there in these dating streets. Although I thought we're going to talk about that too, just relationships. Because I don't understand. Y'all changed the game up since when I dated in the 90s and I got married, and I don't know whether I got married and got into some kind of time machine or what, but I missed the whole manual on how people date now. So dating after divorce is a whole discussion in itself. And dating through a pandemic, if you manage to maintain, anyway, we're going to talk about that, relationships, evaluating relationships and personal friendships and relationships with men, or your dating life. If you're a guy watching, welcome. If you're dating a young lady, you just the game has changed. But I'm not even getting into that today. That's not even what this is about. This is about self-care. And I don't know if it hit me today because it's kind of been weighing on me a little bit, because I'm the kind of person I need to like go away in a little corner to myself, just to be quiet and just to center and just have me time and have some time to just sit down, as my grandma say, sit down and sit down somewhere and be quiet. That I need that. I know that about me. And I haven't had it. I guess none of us have. My mom hasn't had that either. I don't know if she's feeling the same way. I need to ask her, like, even if we had gone on vacation, there are times when we go on vacation, when the kids go to bed, especially if we're at the beach or something, I might just go sit outside, light a little candle, and just breathe, just listen to the ocean air, and just breathe and just take some time just to be there, just to do that. And, not that I needed it, not that these are first world problems. But not having manicures, pedicures, massages. I was walking down the street the other day and I was thinking, man, my back is sore because I did something different, in my workout. And I was thinking, man, my back is sore. I could really use a massage. I'm not going to get a massage. I'm not going any place like that right now. And but you start to look at all the things that you did or that you used to do that you really probably in some ways needed, as a part of your self-care regimen, and there's just things you're just not doing. And I guess dropping kids off to school was always like a woo-saw moment for parents all over the world, especially for those of us who are, single and, doing a lion's share of the cooking and preparing and, taking care of and managing, and doctor's appointments and, dentist appointments. Everything is on you when you are, if you're the parent who has if you have rights and their kids are with you, you're the one doing the doctor's appointments and doing everything. And scheduling and managing and dentists and eyes and all of these things. And there is very little time for you to have downtime. And that is where you kind of look at, back to school. Not that it's even a break. Not that it's even a vacation. But it is just a moment where for about 6 or 7 hours, your only physical demand is either for your job, or if you're a stay-at-home, then managing the household or whatever. It is not managing little people and their meals and making sure, did you hear that? Did you get that? Are you connected? Or now I'm IT, I'm tech, I'm the lunch lady. I'm the menu person, I'm the nutritionist, I'm now the PE coach, and I'm working full time. I was like, I just don't have any place that I can kind of go steal away for a moment. By choice, I chose not to travel, and I'm still not. So I don't regret that decision. But I am, I think my body, is kind of like, my mind is like, hey, we didn't go to the beach. I know. I need the beach. I need ocean air and and a moment of time. You know, I think everybody needs that moment where you can kind of say, whew. And it's hit me during pandemic revelations that the reason I was probably feeling heavier and heavier these last couple of weeks is not so much the worry about, are we going to be okay with digital learning? You know, did I make the right decision? All this, that, and third, you know, kind of thing. Because I was settled on that, because I prayed about that and I settled on that decision. I think it was more of, once again, pivoting and adjusting to a change. And the change is, it's not going to be the way it was last year. What we thought would, if we had, I don't know, maybe if we had really locked things down, really locked them down in March, and everybody cooperated, would we be here? I don't know. I don't know if we would or not, but I wonder, like, because in March I was thinking, oh, it'll be July before we get back out to play. It's August. And if you're at, like me, I don't know what you're going through, but if you're like me and you already are very limited in the time you spend on yourself and the time you spend taking care of you, or having moments of quiet, or, you know, going someplace to just relax, or going to get a facial, whatever it is, and you haven't been able to do that, or you've lost the means financially to do it, you would do it. Maybe you'd be like, hey, I would go to the spa. It doesn't bother me, you know, in terms of the proximity of people touching my face and breathing around me. If that's not your thing, but you have lost that ability somehow to do that, then how are you dealing with that and adjusting to the change of not having the moment? You know, that is my pandemic revelation. Like, well, I shouldn't really be worried about the technology. We're going to get that worked out. That's something where we're just going to, you know, back and forth. But that has just had me at a point where I'm not, I guess I'm not at a place where I've had a moment to take care of me. That's what it is. That's what it is. So I have not had the moments that I need, you know, and that I need to just like steal away. So I spend a lot of time on my patio. Like, you know, after my prayer time, I'll sit out there for hours just watching the sun, just watching the trees, you know, imagining, okay, well, if I were on vacation, this, you know, this is a nice breeze, and it's nice being outside. But I think that's probably the biggest thing to hit is, you know, you are holed up together and or booed up together, or whatever your situation is, and your time is very is now shared. Your space is shared, and I'm blessed. We actually, you know, have yard and a place you can actually move about through the house. We have plenty of room, but not a lot of privacy, not just a moment of just chilling out. And so I'm interested in what you're doing. Has that been something that you've dealt with, or that has hit you, or has hit close to home as a part of the pandemic? You know, there are a lot of other things coming out of it, and one is, you know, how you are taking care of yourself, and so that you can better take care of others. And then, you know, relationships, you know, and spirituality. I know that, I've dealt with some things just from seeing some of the things that have been coming across my screen, and that's been said in regards to political or racial or civil, whatever it is, that has really, I've really evaluated some things and some relationships and where I stand on some stuff. So there's been a lot of pandemic revelation that has just, and I think I know it's supposed to be this way, and I know it was for the better, but it definitely required more of me, more of my conscious, intentional thought, so to speak. What about you? Where are you in this? I would love to have that conversation. I am planning to invite guests and have people on through Zoom, I guess, a split screen or something, until I can open up the room and have tea, and we have real tea time, with my friends, and do some chatting and some talking for real on the show. But that is one where that has been a pandemic revelation for me, is the reason you feeling kind of funky is because you're not getting everything you need for you to be at peace. And, you need some you time, some me time. And it's okay. It is absolutely okay if you do. And I'm going to correct that. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have to do something different to make sure that I feed that part of me that needs that moment, so that I can better be, better at momming and being the principal and the lunch lady and everything else, because it's a lot of time together. We've got an entire semester of new coworkers home online all day, and we're still sheltering in place and being very careful and taking care of ourselves. So, already there's no girls' nights out. There's been anything. There hasn't been any, meeting up for just chips and salsa. Just anything. So, and it is wearing on me that, man, summer's almost gone. I didn't get to serve these sundresses. I served them to the garden. I just dress up and just go to my patio garden, sit outside. But still, so many phases and seasons have passed, so it's been an adjustment. But I'm going to correct that, because I recognize now, and I'm honest enough with me to know, you need a break, chick. You need to take a moment. That's my pandemic revelation. This is in the series. Yeah, let's talk about it. Thank you so much for joining the podcast, for listening. I hope this sparks some conversation for us to talk more about it. This has definitely been something where I think it's important and necessary. Self-care is very good for you, and it's nothing wrong with recognizing when you need it and doing something about it, because this mama will be. I promise you that. But come on and join us again for the next episode. We're going to have another pandemic revelation. Let's talk about relationships. I got something to say. I am beside myself. I cannot wait. I got to get into it, and I got to know what you guys think, because I am just, what I've seen and what I've gone through, my mouth is still open. I'm just shocked. I'm like, what happened? What happened in the 2000s that I didn't get the memo on? But anyway, we'll talk about that on the next episode. Please be sure to get at me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. at Katie Bryant Writes, and on the blog Life Unfolding, KatieBryantWrites.com. Check out the blog post there. If you are listening, I appreciate you. I value you. Listen on anywhere you get your podcast, download the show. Life can be a niche. But if you are watching on this YouTube channel, you already know what to do. If you're watching and you have not hit the subscribe button, you don't have to do it. Doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to put your credit card down. Just hit subscribe. Hit the notifications when I drop a new video. I'd love to have you join us for Farmhouse Fridays. I'm actually dropping one this week. You're gonna enjoy it. It's one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things to eat. And I did it with things from my garden. So I want you to check that out too. Thank you so much for coming into the living room and having a family meeting. Well, my nook. Thank you for coming to my nook this time and joining us for a family meeting. Remember, if I had time to have tea, that it would be lavender chamomile. That would be it. It would be lavender chamomile for sure. Always, I appreciate you. I thank you so much for supporting the podcast. We love you guys. Keep the comments coming. Keep dropping them. Engage with us. Tell me what you want to talk about. Tell me some of your pandemic revelations, because I've got a lot to come about what I've learned and what I'm still learning through all of this. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Thank you so much for doing life with us, and we will see you when we see you.